And hello everybody, and welcome on back to another episode of Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney. You know it, you love it. We're going to rise from the ashes. February 23rd, 2:15 p.m. Wright & Co. law offices. Mr. Wright, so what's going on with the case anyway? I'm a little confused. Huh? Well, let's see, what is going on? The victim, Detective Bruce Goodman, was stabbed to death after 5 p.m. on the 21st. He died in the prosecutor's parking lot and the police department's evidence room. What's this "and the evidence room" part? The prosecutor's office and the police department are 30 minutes apart by car. Yeah, which I pointed out last time. Well, that's what we're going to find out. Or try to, at least. Alright, let's do it. Thought she's in good spirits, but I'm not sure she's going to be much help with this. Don't be so sure, Mr. Wright. Huh? Look, we're in this together, right? I'll prove that these thick-rimmed glasses of mine aren't just for show. Let's go, science awaits us. Alright, ooh, taking us straight to the action, huh? You know, I really don't think we should worry about the police department murder. There wasn't even a body found there, who cares? Yeah, it was only our victim who was killed in their evidence room, no biggie. Besides, my sister would never do such a thing, I know it. That oil drum? Was it empty? The oil drum kicked over by the chief prosecutor was brimming with water. My sister erasing evidence at the crime scene? Never. Even though she says they don't get along, Emma really likes her sister. That's not it at all. It's just, we're both professionals at what we do and I trust her. Big words for a high school student. Also, it's so funny that this entire time I've been assuming that the parenthetical words were all, like, in his head, but apparently not. Well, whether there was blood on the floor or not, the water in that oil drum washed it all away. Ignore the strength of my science at your own peril, Mr. Wright. Huh? What's that grin for? This situation calls for one thing, and that is luminol testing fluid. Luminol? Blood is sticky stuff, you know, you can't just wash it away with a little water. Even if you can't see it, it's still there. But wouldn't the police have already done those tests? Never trust anyone's eyes but your own, Mr. Wright. Just give it a try. Me? Why do I have to do it? Because I'm the player? Duh. I'm a minor, I can't even drink yet. We're testing bloodstains with this stuff, not drinking it. Here, look, I'll lend you these glasses. Huh? You had an extra pair of those things? Ooh. To test for blood reaction, just spray the luminol on it. Like this, see? There's energy to spray it on. Okay, let's find us some bloodstains. How's that with you? Back in a jiff, I gotta grab something to drink. And... just tried to click back on the screen. We're back, just like that. Nice and easy. Yeah, look at that. I can see her eyes shining behind those glasses. So is this the bloodstain? It's so... Ugh. Emma, you're shaking. It's just, this is my first time seeing real blood. Scientific investigation in action. Okay, well, we definitely know that this is a bloodstain. Doesn't something strike you as odd? Scientifically speaking, of course. What's odd about this, scientifically? The amount of blood? The perpetrator and Detective Goodman fought here, right? Don't you think there'd be a little more blood? I definitely think so. I mean, look at all the blood on the sole of the victim's shoe. It is pretty strange. They fought here, there'd have been more blood than this. Hey, Mr. Wright. I'm gonna mark up the floor pans when we find a bloodstain, okay? See, I'm pretty handy to have around, right? Yeah, and this stuff's pretty handy too. Saved up my allowance to buy that. Alright. From one very proud looking Emma Sky. I like that it says spray in quotation marks to use. We can't be sure that the police will reveal all their evidence in court. Sometimes they fail to mention evidence that doesn't fit with their view of the case. Then let's drag that hidden evidence out into the light of day. Yeah, feels like we're really investigating a crime now, doesn't it? Guess I should give this a spray on anything suspicious. Ha! Oh. I wonder how that fluid of yours would react to a nice deli box. Miss Starr! You only trust your own eyes, hmm? Not bad, you two. This day old deli box is on the house. Sorry, it's just that kind of lead-in... Hold on, that kind of lead-in doesn't really get my mouth watering. Lead and lead, so often I'll just like read it wrong the first time and be like, oh duh, of course I defaulted to the wrong one. Okay, so what are you doing here? You certainly put me in a tight spot today. My apologies, Miss Starr, but no, it's okay, it was my fault. Oh, we know. I witnessed everything from that security room right here. But I was afraid that wouldn't sound convincing enough, you see? I was wrong to think that. I'm sorry. Sorry, you lied on the witness stand. That's unforgivable. Little girl, don't forget what's important here. Even if the place I had witnessed the events from was different, I still saw what I saw. I saw Chief Prosecutor Sky stab a man in cold blood, and that testimony still stands. Ah. I swear it on my honor as a detective, she stabbed Goodman. I know this photograph has something important to tell us, but what? So, you were a detective, weren't you, Miss Starr? Yes, it was a long time ago. Well, 2 years ago. No matter how hardened a criminal when they faced me, they coughed it up. Coughed it up? They confessed. They babbled like babies. You know. I may seem like a demon sometimes, but I can be an angel too. I wouldn't doubt it. Every day I drag the dirt out of the mouths of suspect after suspect. And before long, they called me the Cough-Up Queen. Oh, and here I thought someone had gotten food poisoning from your lunches. And you were let go? Fired? I felt that I had found my dream job when I became an investigator. And if these prim and proper prosecutors hadn't let me go, I'd still be one today. It's all because of that case, the SL9 incident. SL9? Wait, she doesn't mean... Interesting. Alright, buddy. What do you have to say about... this, maybe? What do you think about this? The SL9 incident? It's written on that knife. And on that note. Goodman. Goodman was the head detective on that case, you know? Really? That knife was evidence from the case, the murder weapon. It was due for transferal that very day that Goodman was killed. As I suspected, SL9 isn't over, not yet. Do you think you could tell us more about the SL9 incident? Oh, no? Oh, you don't want to talk to me about it? This is going to give me the same thing. Yeah. So it linked it, but... There's gotta be something else that we find then, I'm guessing, that would let me... This rope, is it? Yep, they laid it in an outline of the victim's body. So wait, the victim must have died when the killer closed the trunk on him. Gotta be the only person I know that would come to that conclusion. Okay. So I feel like I remember reading about that. So, this is the famous oil drum. Well, no time like the present. I'll try to kick it over myself. Yeah. But that's okay, don't cry. That Lana Sky must be one strong woman. So, this is the famous divider. Sure helped us knock a hole in that testimony today. Come to think of it, this divider helped our case more than the actual witness. The Great Divider had chipped off the old parking block. It's just a wall, scientifically speaking. Aha, a ladder. That's a step ladder. What's the difference? In scientific terms, please. Scientific, huh? Look at the basic nature of the thing, Mr. Wright. This all seems horribly familiar somehow. Yeah, I remember. Made too many stepladder jokes. So this is where Miss Starr saw the incident from. You can probably see quite a lot from up there. Probably means she wasn't lying when she said she saw Miss Guy stab him. Where's the security guard anyway? Well, this is something I heard, but apparently he went out to buy coffee for Miss Starr. That woman is a force to be reckoned with. Ooh, but can we get in here now? Look, a door, that must mean something. I'm not sure that doors mean anything. No, it won't open. A mysterious lock. Gotta see what's mysterious about it? Mr. Wright, you need to learn to enjoy life more. Then let's finish our investigation first, shall we? Yep, sorry, I do remember reading about that. Here, a phone. Let's see if it works. Hey, don't touch stuff we don't need to be touching. I can't hear anything. My ears! No, my ears! Maybe it's due to the barometric pressure? Okay, yeah, so we read this one too. You're just fine, the phone's just broken. Okay. Is there anything else for me? Get the chain link fence, B-block through here, it's where visitors park. So, Miss Starr climbed over this fence? It seems so, yeah. The fence is 9 feet high. You don't need to try it, we already know that she didn't. Eek. It's okay, don't cry. Maybe there's a lunch land alone. A block. This area is reserved for prosecutors. The defense attorney is relegated to B block. It's crazy though that the visitors and the defense attorneys have to both park in B block. That's kind of messed up. I dream of a day when I'll be able to park my car here. I'll go over to B block to buy my hamburgers for me, Mr. Wright. I'm not planning on giving up my job that soon. Okay. That's as red as a sports car can get. Yep, it's pretty red, alright. Body was found in Edgeworth's trunk, and the lock in the trunk was broken too. So the question is, why did Miss Guy choose his car? So, what model car is it? I think it was called a sedan or a coupe, something like that. Those are car types, Mr. Wright, not models. You're a guy, aren't you, Mr. Wright? You're supposed to know these things. It's about time I got my driver's license. Oof. Tough. This Phoenix now getting kind of like the baby girl treatment, huh? That's where we found that note. 221 SL9, the SL9 incident. Case that was due for transferal the day of the murder. And the detective in charge of the case was the victim. I wonder what kind of case this SL9 incident thing was. It's kind of hard to guess just knowing the case number. Okay, can we present anything else to you that'll get us... Emma Sky. Someone used the marker to write their name on this. Emma Sky. Don't tell me you bring this with you everywhere you go. Well, you never know where something might go down. Just what kind of world do you think we live in? Can I ask her about this? If you think about it, I could have taken that picture from the guard room. But even I get flustered sometimes. So you went straight to the scene of the crime? I rushed towards the chain link fence in an effort to stop the murder. That's when I took this photo, yes. In other words, 5 minutes after the crime. Those 5 minutes are the whole problem. The hole in my testimony, as it were. The 5 minutes weren't a problem, Miss Starr. You lying was the problem. Listen, little girl. I've had my testimony disregarded before. And I wasn't gonna have it disregarded again. Just like that time. That time? I mean, I get it that it's like SL9, but... Oh, now you'll let me talk about it. That incident really opened up my eyes to the truth. We're nothing to them. Disposable. Disposable? To who? 2 years ago, it was the biggest case I'd ever handled. The police and the prosecutors were desperate for decisive evidence. So, they didn't solve it? On the contrary, it was solved quite cleanly. The criminal was caught and executed. Executed? Yes, the criminal got what was coming to him. It doesn't get any cleaner than that. The only problem was, they never did find decisive evidence, not a shred. What? But the criminal was executed, right? On the basis of evidence? Of a sort? Made up evidence? What? You mean they executed someone with fabricated evidence? The best part came several months after the trial. Every detective involved with the case was dealt with. Some were demoted to patrolmen, others found themselves out of a job. And you were one of those? Myself and one other person you know well. Wait, Detective Gumshoe? Oh no, Jake Marshall. Dang it. I guess, well, his name... I'm so stupid. His name's literally Detective. Exactly, Detective Jake Marshall. Oops, I mean Police Department Security Detail Officer Jake Marshall. As professional detectives, we investigated that case from every angle. Jake was particularly determined, and then it was over, and he was demoted. However, he hasn't forgotten, and neither have I. You haven't forgotten SL9? There's another side of that case, a hidden side. Oh, a hidden side. That's what we're after now. And no one up in their fancy offices can stop us. Wait, those lunches you sell? There's only one reason I come to sell lunches in this accursed office. I come here to meet old friends, boyfriends that can help me investigate. Miss Star's old boyfriends, how many does she have anyway? Just when all the detectives on SL9 disappeared, we find new evidence. There has to be a connection. So, rookie? What? Seems like you're serious about investigating this case. Yes? Then you should take this. Salisbury steak lunch? I know a certain guy who might help you if you tempt him with this treat. Oh, my guy. Miss Star? Officer Marshall, is he your, are you his... Are you going out? Why do you want to know? I was just wondering what happened to him. A long time ago, when he was helping my sister do cases, he was so nice. He got along so well with my sister it made me jealous. And he was nice to me too back then. This would be when Officer Marshall was a detective. But now he's so cold. Jake and I are merely cooperating on this investigation. We're putting the past to rest, as it were. Nothing more than that. I see. Thank you. Officer Jake Marshall. Alright. Then I think it's high time that we come back here. Alright. It's even busier here today than it was yesterday. The detectives are running around so fast they're blurring. This doesn't make sense. A detective did get killed here, after all. So, the evidence room, the scene of the crime? According to the pamphlet we got at the front desk, here it is. She's like a kid at an amusement park. Ooh, a real crime scene. Let's go take a look. Oh, so we can actually just, like, go in? Ooh, I wonder whose office this is. We do love the themed, cactus, like, coat rack and hanging, ooh, is it, like, hung up with a rope? That's kinda cool. Like, the clothes in the back. And a lasso on the ground. What's with the decor in this place? It's very eccentric. According to the pamphlet, this is a guard station for the evidence room. So beyond that door is the evidence room, the scene of the crime? Sure seems that way. Oh, oh, what's wrong? It's those cacti, they're so prickly, so imposing, it's hard to think straight. If you can't handle the cacti, stay out of the desert. What I want to know is, if this is a guard station, where is the guard? I have a feeling I know who he is already. Yeah. Can you not tell, Phoenix? Look, on the floor, a lasso. Looks like it's set up to trap something. A trap? Here? Wait, I know. Maybe someone was trying to catch a wild bull in here, but the lasso missed. Should have an active imagination. Who wants to bet that we'll come over here to mess with the door and then get her foot caught or something? Look, Texas. Looks like there's a video feed from the evidence room here. There's a light blinking below the monitor. It says recording. I bet we could use this computer to check on who went in and out of there. There's a security guard uniform hanging here. It looks more like a costume than a uniform, honestly. A leather jacket, leather pants, a leather... What was that called again? A punchy? A ponchy? A pinchy? I know, a poochie. Wait, maybe that wasn't it. It's a poncho, but I think I'll keep that information myself for the time being. Yipes, you sure are prickly, they must be the real deal. I would think that just one big one would be sufficient. These cacti are a lot like my sister, actually. How so? Encased in a cold, rigid shell with spines pointing in every direction. Just like her. I'm not so sure I see the resemblance. It's more an attitude thing than a physical similarity. Oh, Phoenix, you poor guy. The evidence room is beyond that door. Let's just walk in. It won't open. You thought it'd be open? I think we need someone's permission to go in there first. But, I mean, we could just use this, right? We could just let ourselves in. This swinging door makes the place look like some kind of saloon. But look, it's nailed shut. You can't get in that way. Of course not. If you went in through here, the cactus would fall over. Ouch. I'd say it'd be more of a yeah myself. Okay. Alright. Please is charged with frantic energy as always. Please. Huh? Wasn't that? One steak lunch, please. Oh, it's you. Detective Gumshoe. Now's no time for chit-chat, pal. I'm a busy man. What I really need is a steak lunch from Lunchland. Oh, you mean one of these? Actually, it's not for sale. I think I just heard the sound of his heart breaking. Now's no time for despair. We've caught our criminal, we just need evidence. The criminal? You mean... You heard about the stabbing in the police department evidence room, right, pal? Yeah, I was there yesterday. The same day the detective was killed in the prosecuting parking lot, another detective was killed at the police department? You're the perpetrator. Do we have a suspect? Well, there was a suspect. Just arrested him, in fact. It's the biggest scandal to hit the station in ages. Everything's topsy-turvy. But Detective Gumshoe, who was it? Listen, pal, all I know is I need me a steak lunch pronto. Sitting around here talking isn't gonna fill my belly. Wait, don't leave. If you want to know more, head on down to the detention center, pal. Questioning should be over, so I figure he's down there having a good cry. Later. He ran off to the evidence room. Well, this investigation is off to a running start. Okay. We do have to pop back here to actually go... yeah. Alright, who's here? Still, I do feel better about things, a little. I mean, they caught the person who stabbed Detective Goodman, didn't they? Yeah, I guess they did. Let's not go too far down that road right now, things will just get confusing. Yikes. What was that? Sir, that's what I'm saying, me? A perpetrator? I'd say I was the perpetrator against, sir, that's what I'd say. Oh, this guy. Hi, greetings, sir. Wait, I know who you are. Excuse me, but is Mr. Edgeworth, anywhere on the premises? I'm here, sir, at the request of the chief, sir. I've got your report, sir. Officer Meekin, so you're a guard here at the detention center? No, sir, I'm not, sir. I'm a little lost patrolman like a little lost lamb, sir. Oh, I get it. You're here to deliver a report. No, sir, how should I say this? Wait, he isn't, is he? You, Officer Meekins, you didn't, did you? Perpetrator Officer Meekins reporting, sir. What? What? Now this is an unexpected turn of events. It's a... Can I say that I love that his pose is that, like, just permanently this, and then, his ID badge that's hanging around his neck is also in the same pose. Sir, I'm a patrolman with General Affairs, sir. Sir? Ow, I can hear you fine, Officer Meekins. I had some business that day, sir, so I went to the evidence room, sir. The guard station in front of the room was empty, sir. So, normally there's a guard at the evidence room? That's right, sir, because evidence kept in the evidence room, sir. Now, the security officer was none other than Officer Marshall. Marshall? Then, sir, I happened to glance at the security room monitor. That's when I saw him, sir. A suspicious person in the evidence room. A suspicious person, sir. Suspicious person. Yeah, oh, yeah. Is his hand cuffed to... Huh? What the heck is this guy doing? So, what happened then? After that, sir, everything went white. I saw red, I blacked out. And when I came to, I was here in the detention center. How long were you out? Days? Might I ask what happened to your hand? Sir, there was no one to bandage me, sir. So I did what I could to wrap it up, sir. A bandage on his hand, just like Miss Sky. Yet another similarity between this case and the one at the prosecutor's office. First things first, tell us how you hurt your hand. I don't mean to pry, but you are the perpetrator, correct? You killed Detective Bruce Goodman in the evidence room, right? Sir, please don't look at me with those sad puppy dog eyes, sir. You have to label me as a perpetrator or victim, sir? Then label me victim. I would, but you happen to be in detention, and alive and well at that. Ah, yes, well, that's true, sir. I suppose you could say that. Did you know the victim, Detective Goodman? Well, sir, if I had to label him as a stranger or a total stranger, then I'd say he leans heavily on the total stranger side. So, you didn't know him. Sir, I work in a tiny department devoid of light or other creature comforts. I don't know any detectives. So, if he was a total stranger, why did you stab him? Sir, I had no intention of killing him, sir, none. Nor do I have any recollection of killing him, sir. At least someone around here is more confused than I am. About your hand, did that happen during the course of the crime? Well, you see, sir, don't you think you should just confess? But sir, there was nothing I could do. Nothing you could do? Sir, to tell you the truth, sir, when it happened, when the detective pointed that knife at me, I just hollered, sir. And the next thing you knew, I was unconscious. The next thing you knew, you were... Huh? Then, when I opened my eyes, I was alone in the evidence room, sir, all alone. Alone because Detective Goodman had disappeared. What? Then when I looked down, I was gushing blood from my hand, sir. Oh, the shock, oh, the sorrow, sir. Can you imagine how I felt? The victim's body disappeared? That's some story. Interesting. Okay. Okay. I don't know if there's really anything that we can press him on, huh? Officer Meekins, could you take a look at this? I'm sorry, sir, really sorry, but I have no idea what that is. Maybe you should ask Mr. Edgeworth, sir? He is passing the buck, Mr. Wright. Takes a special kind of man to pass the buck to Edgeworth. Okay. So we come back here. And then so we come here. And then... Now we go into the guard station? No. Wow, everyone here looks deadly... Everyone looks deadly serious here. Well, there was a vicious murder of a detective down at the police department. Yes, but that same detective was also killed at the same time in the prosecutor's lot. It makes my head hurt. Well, first things first, let's go check out the police department crime scene. Yes, you sound dead set on investigating. Yeah, that... Automatically best character. Great. But don't mess up or we could wind up dead. I doubt anyone wants more mysteries or dead bodies around here right now. But it doesn't look like anyone's gonna help us much either. Okay. Okay. Oh, that's right. I can actually go over here. It's interesting when, like, you can only get to certain places from certain places. I don't know what determines that, if it's just kind of like a minor oversight thing or whatever. Like, it makes sense, obviously, when they're in the same building, but when it's like, oh, well, I guess this is in the same building as a parking lot, huh? Okay, that makes more sense. Never mind. Ignore me. Well, this place is as classy today as it was yesterday. And I'm sure it'll still be just as classy tomorrow, Emma. Incidentally, Edgeworth's not here. I'm sure he's off doing important investigations. I hope that's what he's doing. Guess we'll have to come back. Okay. Alright. So then there has to be something that we present him with, huh? Or if there's anything that we maybe have to find with that? Officer Meekins, this is for you. Eek, I'm scared of knives, sir. It's okay, I just wanted you to look at... That's it, sir, last night, sir, that's the one. I was an apple, sir, in my dreams, sir, and I was being peeled. On second thought, you don't have to look at the knife. He's overreacting to the knife, but I guess he's been through a lot. Okay. Do you think we could take a look at this? Hey! That's it, sir, that's it, that's it. What? My head was blank until that very moment. But sir, now I remember, sir. You mean you remember what happened? Correct, that car was the cause of it all. This car? ID card? Exactly, sir, that's exactly it. Nothing could be more exact, sir, nothing. Better pry into this one a little deeper. Okay. Can you tell me what it is you do remember? Well, sir, you might say I'm a little lost patrolman. A lost little lamb, if you will. God, all I can imagine is just him putting like his fingers together and be like, oh no, ooh, you know. We didn't know Mr. Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. And that's why you thought he looked suspicious? Sir, I entered the evidence room and asked the man to show me his ID card. Well, that sounds pretty much by the book so far. That's right, sir. That's what I've been trying to tell you. So you asked Detective Goodman to show you his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing, suddenly he pointed a knife at me. What? Sir, I assure you, I was as flustered as you are right now. So I whooped and leapt at him. Detective Goodman pointed a knife at him? Do unto others before they do unto you. My own father's words, sir. What happened then? Well, my eyes, sir, everything went white. Then I awoke, I was here. Right. So, Officer Meekins, why was it that they arrested you? What do you mean, Emma? Let's look at what we know. Now, Officer Meekins didn't know Detective Goodman, and the victim, who you met at the scene of the crime, didn't show his ID card. In other words, we have no way of knowing if the victim was really the victim. And if this body just disappeared from the evidence room, we don't even know if anyone actually died. That's it, sir. That's what I wanted to say. That is, I did say something along those lines. Huh? But you still ended up here? They told me that it had to be him, sir. On that day, at that time, Detective Goodman was definitely in the evidence room, that's what they said. But you don't remember the events clearly. No, but the videotape is quite clear. Huh? The videotape? From the security camera? The crime, my crime, the crime that I swore to stamp out, it's there, it's me, I'm on tape. And you waited until now to tell us this? I'm sorry, really sorry, sir. I'll hand over my badge, I don't deserve it. No thanks, I have my own. I mean, imagine though what you could get away with having a police badge, you know? Well, guess we'd better go check out the crime scene. Okay. Now we can head over here. But hey, Mr. Wright, look who's standing at the Chief of Detectives desk. It's Police Chief Gant. You're sure this is all, You know what it means if there's anything missing? Sir, I'm sure it's most Jesus. Sir, I'm sure it's most likely totally perfect. Oh. Well, let's get that. Under a seat cushion behind his computer monitor inside his personal coffee machine. I see. Well, if anything does turn up, you call me right away. Deal? Yes, sir. We'll scour the place again, sir. The Chief of Detectives looks a little flustered. Aha, righto, my boy. How you been? Swim much? Oh, Chief Grant, reporting for duty, sir. Why are you saluting him, Mr. Wright? Hey, buddy, is Edgeworth going to be okay? Oh, Worthy? Oh, you know, they're doing a little inquiry committee with him. Sounds like an inquisition. Yep, well, they've had no end of trouble with the boy since last year. You mean the incident on Gourd Lake? Doesn't look good having a top prosecutor sit in the defendant's seat, does it? And you got someone else found guilty in that case, righto? Von Karma. A legend he was, undefeated in his 40-year career. But in court, you fix it so he's caught for forging evidence. Wait, I didn't do anything wrong. He did forge evidence. In any case, the prosecutor's office is in a bit of turmoil, you might say. Why, they do just about anything to restore their reputation. Now, depending on what that inquiry committee decides, it could be bad for Worthy. What? It's downright odd, I tell you, the detective getting killed on their turf too, I mean. There being the prosecutors, I assume? Scientifically speaking, it's impossible. Yes, but that's what the evidence is saying. Goodman was stabbed in 2 locations at the same time, that's what it says. What evidence is this? No, righto, I can't give away all our secrets just like that. And this in particular, well, it's a little sensitive and I can't talk about it. Wasn't expecting much anyway. You know, one thing I hate most of all is hiding stuff. Secrets, can't stand it. But you know, it's a full-time job just keeping the Chief of Detectives trap shit. Ah, he was the one you were picking on earlier? Huh? You saw that? Whoops! Wonder what it was that he wanted the Chief of Detectives to do. Let's see if we can kind of discreetly ask him. Hey, buddy. Oh, sorry you had to see that. What exactly did the Chief of Police want you to do? Well, see over there, that's Goodman's desk. He wanted me to check if anything that might be a clue. They took away every last piece of garbage in the trash can. So nothing belonging to Detective Goodman is still here? Of course not. Well, except for this. What, you kept something? Sure, why not? It's not important. He didn't even finish writing it. The lost item report, but it's only half complete. A lost item? Did Detective Goodman lose something? The date on it is February 21st. Better make note of that just in case. Okay. Really get back to investigating the police department crime scene. Ah. Actually, I was wondering if I could ask you a favor. I never thought the day would come when Wright asked me for help. I was wondering if we could investigate the evidence room? Man, this guy has some piercing eyes, huh? No, Righto. Actually, I'm sorry, I don't need to investigate after all. Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? Huh? Heck, if anyone asked me, "Sir, can I borrow $50?" I'd give them $50, no problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's content. Knock yourself out. Just goes to show you never know until you ask. And for you, here, you can borrow this. Hey, this is a detective's ID card, isn't it? That's a special card for guests, so don't lose it. Yes, sir, it's an honor. You just run along and do your best. Well, now, you just run along and do your best now. Later, folks. What an interesting guy. Looks pretty cool on my lapel, doesn't it? Just think, a real ID. You seem happy. Yes, sir, because, sir, we get to go in the evidence room now, sir. I think this places a bad influence on the girl. Alright, so now, pop in here. The evidence room is beyond that door. And we have the ID card from Chief Gant. Let's just walk in. It won't open. Aha, the card reader's turned off, see? What is that security guard thinking? Howdy, partners. Well, well, what's made my Bambina's skies go gray? But, Officer Marshall, why does it have to be him? What's that why does it have to be him look for? As you may have surmised, this here's my saloon. We're here to investigate the crime scene. Yeehaw, that card you got on there on your chest. That's better than a sheriff's badge in these parts. Yeehaw? Well, what you standing there for? Get along, little doggies. The crime scene's awaiting. Beep. Looks like the card reader's on again. While you're here, I was wondering if we could ask you some questions. Sorry, cowboy, but I got no mind to tangle with you hombres. You're busy then? Did I say that? I only said I didn't wish to speak with you. Actually, you said no mind to tangle with us hombres. But, can I change your mind? With maybe this? That smell. Ah, reminds me of Texas. So, Officer Marshall, you're from Texas? No, I just saw a special on television the other day. Is this from my baby? Yeah, Miss Starr? What's this? What's wrong? Filet steak lunch? I see, I see. I don't see. I wonder what it means? Steak lunch given to Officer Marshall. Alright, Bambina, you win. Ask me anything, munch, snack, smack. Finally, it seems like he's willing to talk. My guy, okay. Officer Marshall, you're in charge of security for the evidence room, right? You got good eyes, partner. It's an easy job, and I'm grateful for it. Actually, Officer Meekins at the detention center told us. Ah, that poor little doggy. Poor guy, keep getting his name wrong and calling him Meekly. He told us something. He said that when the stabbing occurred, you weren't at your station. Well, maybe I shouldn't be telling you this. But since I got demoted from detective 2 years ago, well, I might not look it, but I lost my fire for the job, you know? So, what were you doing around 5:15 when the murder took place? Well, reckon I was galloping down on the highway on the back of my steed, Zippy. No, he was riding down the highway on his horse named Zippy. There's no need for people here anyhow. These newfangled machines do a bang-up job of keeping an eye on the place. You mean the security camera system? I don't take to machines much. Kinda like that stewed broccoli they sneak in next to your steak, you know? Miss Starr told us something. She said that you were a detective until 2 years ago. It's always my dream to be a rawhide wrangler on the scene of the crime. That's all gone now, like a drinking hole in a prairie fire. You're still investigating the SL9 incident with Miss Starr, aren't you? That was my case. It's all solved on the record books, but it smells of a bad game of poker. Can't let it go. That's all there is to it. What kind of case was it, anyways? We've heard the name so many times, but no one tells us what actually happened. There's some things you're better off not knowing, Bambina. Anyway, the case is officially dead as of 2 days ago. 2 days ago? The day of our case? That's right. The evidence transferals. Edgeworth was talking about the transferals too. I know what maybe 2 of the machines in here do. Only 2 of them? But there must be a dozen. Like I said, Bambina, me and machines, well, I like them about as much as I like stewed cauliflower with my steaks. The easiest ones to understand are these here security cameras. Those are the ones that Officer Meekins mentioned. If nothing happens, the tapes are automatically erased every few hours. And Officer Meekins and Detective Goodman, are they on one of those tapes? I reckon they might be. You're the security guard and you reckon? One more thing. When you go into the evidence room, you need an ID card. That's the card reader by the door. The card reader leaves a record of every ID card that passes through. Okay, so 514, Goodman's card was used. And then there's another one that followed right behind it. So this is the ID card record. Hey, I've seen that somewhere before. Sorry, Bambi, and I can't show you more than that. Huh? I haven't heard whether this is related to the case yet. Mr. Wright, I saw a number on the record just now. I've seen that number before. Maybe there's some way I can prove the record is tied to the stabbing? Sorry, but could you explain this whole transferal thing? We keep only evidence from solved cases in this room. They kept here under the presiding detective's supervision for 2 years. So we can reinvestigate them if it turns out there was a mistake, see? So what happens to the evidence after 2 years? It goes to sleep forever in the underground vault at the county sheriff's department. That's what we call transferal. We do it every February. I see now. Transferal is like a funeral for old cases. 2 years after a case is solved, it's closed forever, dead. Never to be reopened again, never to be reinvestigated. And that happened to the SL9 2 days ago. See this? This is the victim's ID card. Ah, the one that was on the ground in the parking lot? The number on this is 5842189. Officer Marshall, show us that ID card record again? Look, the 4th number, it's a perfect match. Wonder who's all 7s. They checked in at 420, nice. It was used at 514, right before the stabbing. What's more is there's only one of them cards in the world. So when the incident occurred, Detective Goodman was in the evidence room. But wait, what did Officer Meekins say? Sarah entered the evidence room and he asked the man to display his ID card. So he asked Detective Goodman to show his ID card. What did he do? That's the thing, suddenly he pointed a knife at me. If he had his ID card then, why would he have pointed a knife at Officer Meekins? Alright, compadre, you win. I guess I can give you this ID card record. Okay. I've got an idea. Maybe I should show this list to other people with IDs on me. but we wouldn't know anyone else's ID, so we'll have to kind of figure out whose is whose, right? Okay. Alright, the evidence room. It's quiet. The investigation must be over here. So this is the evidence room? It really is kind of like a graveyard. Graveyards are supposed to have grass and trees. This feels more like a morgue. Nice try, Mr. Wright. You can't scare me. Hey, my guy. Eek. Whoa. Oh. Sorry, I thought you were a ghost. I wouldn't recommend going around smacking ghosts on the head, pal. So is it true what I heard? Righto, please, do I look like a selfish man? Heck. If anyone asked me, sir, can I borrow $50, I'd give them $50. No problem. So go ahead, investigate that room to your heart's desire. Knock yourself out. Yeah, that's true. So, Chief of Police can't loan anyone $50? Even me? Oh, so that's what you were talking about. Actually, I was put in charge of the investigation for today. Just for today? Boss for a day. But guess what? You got permission from the chief, so now you're boss for a day. Gee, thanks. First of all, you'll want to have this. Okay. Let's check out what's going on here. Oh, okay, so it's just the floor plan. So, Detective Gumshoe, you're boss for the day? That's right, it's an honor. After all, the murder took place right here in the police department. But if you're boss, why are you all alone? Where are your underlings? They're using yesterday's findings to prepare for tomorrow's trial. In other words, you got kicked out of the investigation again. I'm adamant, though. I'm gonna take control and put the case to rest. I'm in my own evidence locker, pal. You have a locker here too, Detective Gumshoe? Haha, of course. I'm a detective after all. You gave me a locker that only I can open, pal. Only you can open? I'll always believe in Mr. Edgeworth no matter what happens. So, Mr. Edgeworth is with the inquiry committee now, right? They're trying to figure out who's responsible for the mess up in court today. I see. Guess it's just what you call fate. Mr. Edgeworth just can't get away from that case. That case? Yeah, that case. The SL9 incident, of course. That was the beginning of the end for Mr. Edgeworth. Maybe you can tell us more about the case. This place is more high-tech than you might think. Every locker is fixed so that only a detective can open it. Only one detective can open it. Oh, that's how we'll probably figure out more of the IDs? Using their ID card? Well, that's the thing, pal. ID cards can be lost. Why, I'm on my third one since entering the force already. That sounds like a lot. Yeah, but even I can't lose my own right hand. Right hand? Oh, you mean your fingerprint. Exactly, pal. The lock for each locker is coded with a fingerprint. So, the only locker we can open is our own. Funny, they look like normal lockers. These are the latest model. There's a trick to the handles, see? The handles? On the other side of the handles is a sensor, and if the wrong person touches it, zap, you get a shock. That's what happened. My hand would be black and smoking every day. In any case, the locks aren't that obvious. There are even some people in the force that don't know about the fingerprint locks. Okay. And... Detective Goodman's note and that switchblade knife. Bet Edgeworth was the most surprised of anyone. Because of the SL9 connection? That was Mr. Edgeworth's first big case, you know, 2 years ago. That was the first time the world knew Edgeworth was a man to be feared. But why would evidence from that case turn up now? I guess it's not over, pal. Maybe there's some loose ends left on that case. Can you tell us more? No, that was a bloody, violent case. Violent? So it was a murder? A serial killing. A serial killing. Maybe I don't want to get involved in this after all. But the killer made a mistake, and Mr. Edgeworth built his case around that to nab him. And this was 2 years ago? That put Mr. Edgeworth right in the spotlight and started the rumor mill. Rumors about forged evidence? It was supposed to be all cleaned up with that transferal the other day, but it was the last job he ever did. Detective Goodman. Detective Goodman, that is. Huh? What do you mean? Detective Goodman was the detective in charge of the SL9 incident, see? So that switchblade knife... The victim took the knife out of the evidence locker himself? Interesting, okay. Can you tell us anything about this? Could you take a look at this? This is an ID card record of the people who came in here on the day of the stabbing. Ah, I heard the rumors. So it was Goodman who came... Whoa! What is it? That second number. It's not your ID number, is it, Detective Gumshoe? Mr. Edgeworth. What? The second number on this list belongs to Mr. Edgeworth. What? Okay. Why would Edgeworth have come to the evidence room? Is there anything else that he could maybe tell us about things? Interesting. Okay. Oh, so let's examine. What is this? Blood? It's a little warm, but there's definitely a handprint here. Looks like someone tried to wipe it off. Mr. Wright, what if there are other bloodstains left in the room? We should use your testing fluid to check it out. Look, this one's open, and the red indicator light above the door is still lit. That locker is coated with Detective Goodman's fingerprint. Detective Goodman's locker? Are you sure it's okay to leave it open like that? Well, it'd be hard to get it open again if we closed it. It's empty. They must have taken the contents elsewhere. Okay. Ooh, there's a little bit of blood on there too, it looks like. Wow, someone must have broken something big to make all these pieces. Detective Gumshoe, perhaps? There you go, pal, making me out to be some kind of hooligan. That's apparently from the case. The case? The SL9 incident, pal. See the sticker on one of those pieces there? Another piece of SL9 evidence. Wonder what shape these pieces were in before whatever it broke. You want to try to put it back together? Ha, good luck, pal. That's no job for amateurs. Well, I spent a good 3 hours on that before I had to give up. That's why I always carry around a tube of glue. Well, this piece looks like the bottom. Let's try putting the rest in place. Oh no. Oh no. Okay. So that's gotta be closer to the top. Okay. Well, it's gonna go here. Oh, that's not right. Possibly... Oh, let's see. That's not it, is it? No. Because it's got to be more like that, because that's going to be near the top, I believe. And that's going to be up that way. That doesn't look right at all. Is it you? Okay. Now I think this might be where this fits in. Yeah. One thing about me is that I love puzzles. so I can normally figure out more and more stuff like this. Luckily, pretty well. You go there. And then... okay. I was gonna say, I was like, that didn't look right at all, but... then you go there. And we're just missing a chunk on this side. Huh? Well, I think we did it, but some of the pieces are missing. Yeah, I got that far too in 2 minutes myself. The problem is finishing it. Were some pieces stolen? I bet they were missing to begin with. Still, it doesn't look like the most stable kind of jar. I kind of understand how it got broken. Unstable jar added to the court records. Me if I were a jar, quote-unquote unstable. Ooh, a glove. Someone left a glove here, but only one. Detective Gumshoe, maybe? There you go, pal, making me out be some kind of absent-minded detective. That's evidence from the case, you know? You mean SO9? It does have a tag on it. I feel bad that they keep, like, instantly blaming it on him, but okay. You know what? We put these two together, makes a jar. There are two things that bother me. One, why are some of the pieces missing? Two, doesn't it seem a little unstable? No wonder it broke. I'll make sure to remember that next time I make a jar. So we'll do this. What's going on here? What is a saw and paint doing here? Since the dawn of time, true art has always been a war against oppression. True art? I noticed that there's a blue and yellow paint here. Perhaps we witnessed the birthplace of the Blue Badger? Well, you might say this is my studio. Here, in the evidence room? Poor guy. Okay. Yeah, let's see if we can spray here. Yep, a lot of blood there. That must have been one massive pool of blood. Never seen anything like it. I'm not a professional. What's your opinion, detective? Pale blue blood. Maybe Detective Goodman was actually an alien? This proves that something really happened in front of this locker. I'll make note of it on the floor plans. Hey, if you don't want my opinion, you shouldn't have asked. I mean, you also shouldn't have suggested that it's a... Oh, okay, so it will actually let me examine this further. I knew it! This is someone's right handprint. What? What's the matter, detective? This locker, it's mine. It's yours? Please, you have to help me when they come to take me away. Promise you'll testify that I wouldn't harm a fly. You'll do that for me, won't you, pals? This is an important clue. I'll jot it down on the floor plans. Counting on you guys. Believe me, you can't trust the police. What? But you're a detective. Yeah, that's why he knows better than anyone. Oh, okay. I should double check what's going on with that guy. Ooh, this is the other half of the handprint? Why am I getting a reaction here? There's no reason for the murderer to touch this spot if he fled out the door. This just might be something significant. Hey, that's some pretty amazing stuff you got there, pal. What, this? It's called luminal testing fluid. Where'd you get your hands on that? Huh? I'd like to get some too. I'll just borrow 50 bucks from the chief. Where do you get this, Emma? I always buy it by mail order. Well, I'd better jot this down on the floor plans. Hey pal, look at the time. Was there something you needed to be going to? Just at Mr. Edgeworth's inquiry committee should be letting out soon. I'm gonna give them my report for the day. Might help, you know? Report? You mean the note written on the back of that flyer? One that says nothing but no problems? Hey, it's Mr. Edgeworth we're talking about. I'm sure he can use a report like this. I believe in him. Who needs enemies when you got friends like Detective Gumshoe? I'm off, pal. Later. I should probably see what Edgeworth has to say too. Let me see this though. Piece of white cloth sticking out looks like a shirt. You better tidy it up or it'll get wrinkled. Hey, don't look at me. I didn't leave it hanging like that. Pile of junk lies, battered, worn, and forsaken. Are you being a little dramatic? Look at this fishing pole and metal detector. Not sure what this one is. They cast a withering gaze in our direction that screams, "Dust me." Can't just be plain old junk. This place is stuffed with evidence, stuffed with dreams. I'm not so sure about dreams. It won't open. Did you really think it would? Okay, I think we're good to go now. Wow, look at this big pile of junk in the corner. Looks like a car door. There's a pair of handcuffs attached to the frame. Maybe the guy they caught was some sort of escape artist and he got away. Hey, that's one of those human profiles for your rage testing. He's been shot square in the forehead. Better him than us. Yep, so true, bestie. That's the door we just came through. Looks like you don't need an ID card to get out. I wonder what would happen if Officer Marshall cut the power while we were inside. Let's hope he remembers we're in here. Okay. Oh god, I already forgot. I guess maybe we can come here and then he should hopefully be back in his office? Yeah. Oh, this guy? Guess, my apologies. Oh, it's you. Have we met somewhere? Huh? Mr. Edgeworth, I beg your leave. So long. Is Edgeworth here? There, standing by the window, a teacup in his hand. Right. He has the hotel bringing him tea service? Mr. Edgeworth, you're back from the district prosecutor's office inquiry? I am. By the way, Detective Gumshoe was looking for you. Ah, yes. He brought me this latest information, it seems. Really? Was it helpful? Apparently, a new French restaurant is opening near here. I think he was trying to console me, somehow. The real info is on the other side, Edgeworth. Poor Mr. Edgeworth, I think this whole thing is really taking a toll on him. Alright, buddy. So, how did the inquiry meeting go? Actually, they decided to treat this not as a case of concealing evidence, but as a communications error during the investigation. Concealing evidence? Yes, apparently there are some who believe that I concealed evidence. They gave me a warning. You were lucky this time. Again. Again? I've heard them say that so many times. Ever since that case 2 years ago. Are you okay for the trial tomorrow? Well, I'm still the presiding prosecuting attorney, however. Something happened? They gave control in the investigation over to the police department. The police department? Yes, any further investigation in this case will be directed by the Chief of Police, Gant. I can do nothing but wait for his results. I see. Why, I ask you? Why? All along I've only done what I believe was right. I have nothing to be ashamed of. But still. Wow, I've never seen him this out of sorts. Okay. What can you tell me about... Oh, I literally was right there. Oh well. I know you. You've probably got a hold of some information already, right? It also do with the case you were on, the SL9 incident, and some dark suspicion you were wrapped up in? You are the man who revived the worst memory of my life. I figured I'd be telling you about this sooner or later. He must be talking about his father's murder in that elevator. Okay, Edgeworth, why don't you tell me about it? Tell me the truth. The SL9 incident was a heinous serial killing case. The head of the investigation was a deputy chief of police at the time, Damon Gant. That wacky occult who was involved in that case 2 years ago then too? He was a top officer and it was my first time working with him. I was nervous. Wow, you get nervous too, Mr. Edgeworth? What I want to know is why was a deputy chief of police on the investigation? In truth, I used slightly more extreme methods than normal. We were dealing with a vicious murderer. If I let him go, the blood would be on my hands. We won our guilty verdict and the killer was executed. Wait, you didn't... Of course not. I didn't touch the evidence. Yes, I will do anything in my power to win a trial. However, I do have a code and I follow it faithfully. Okay. Let's ask you about this. Oh, right, I'd better check this now. As I was saying, What's this? A record of ID card usage? Edgeworth, you went into the evidence room that day, didn't you? Just before the incident occurred, no less? Yes, that's true. Why, Mr. Edgeworth? Please don't look at me like that. I was asked to go by Chief Gant, no less. The Chief of Police? He wanted evidence for a case that wrapped up half a year ago. He told me he wanted to keep it here in the prosecutor's office. But it was solved, right? It would have to be if the evidence was already filed. The chief is never one to explain himself. In any case, on the day of the stabbings, I brought this back here. Can I ask you what kind of case it was? I can't say. It really has nothing to do with the current case. Now I'm curious about this other case, I'd better make note of it. Screwdriver added to the court case. I wonder if that's... Because, I mean, we have seen a screwdriver that was part of a case earlier on in one of the earlier episodes, but I have no clue if that's actually the same one or if it just happens to be a similar model or something. Stubborn as always, I told you this has nothing to do with the current case. By the way, Emma, the chief prosecutor wanted to know something. My sister? What? If you were still studying forensic science. Huh? Yes, of course. Why, just today Mr. Wright and I were using this. Luminal testing fluid, Well then, you might have a use for this. Aluminum powder for taking fingerprints. It's been chemically treated for better adhesion. But for me? Are you sure? We are the enemy, you know. I have no say in today's investigation. Do as you will. Edgeworth, I'm really... No need to thank me. Here, take your powder and these fingerprint files for everyone involved. Thanks? How about giving these to Detective Gumshoe as well? Okay. Well, let's get going. One last investigation. Right. I do seem to remember seeing a suspicious handprint somewhere. Alright, thanks, buddy. You're the best. Love you. Moving here, here, and to here. Okay. Our investigation turned up a suspicious handprint. Here, in this blood on the detective's evidence locker. Let's use a secret weapon we just borrowed. Right, let's get started. First, choose a finger. A finger? Each finger leaves behind a slightly different imprint. So, let's choose a finger that will have left behind the clearest prints. Really can't tell the difference at a glance. Quit procrastinating and choose a finger. I mean, so it's gonna be the thumb and the index ring. Okay, now it's time to check for prints. Let me show you how it's done. I was starting to get that sparkle in her eyes. First, we sprinkle the aluminum powder around. Huh? How do you do that? With enter, see? Ah, it looks like that did the trick. The aluminum powder adheres completely to the print. Once the powder is well spread, just blow away the excess. Huh? How do I do that? With E. Exciting, I know. Imagine you're blowing out the candles on a birthday cake, see? Wow. This looks like fun. It might take some getting used to, though. It's fine, it won't go up your nose or anything. You just pour the powder on thick and blow away the extra. Those are the basics of fingerprinting, Mr. Wright. Guess I better give it a try. So he does. And blow. Ah, okay. There we go. I didn't realize what it was doing at first. I was like, I blew the stuff away, but it didn't do any excess. Aha, you did it, you found one! But this looks nothing like a fingerprint. Now that you mention it, I guess it doesn't. What does it mean? I think it means we're out of luck. Out of luck? The person who left this handprint must have worn gloves. Don't tell me we've been wasting our time here. Hey, calm down, that's just the way it goes sometimes with scientific investigations. But it does seem a shame. Alright, why don't we look for other prints? Other prints? Looking at the locker door closely. Seems like there are fingerprints outside the bloody handprint as well. See if we can find a clear print. Fingerprints outside the blood. So like this, right? There we go. Look at that. Oh, there we go. Yay, a print so clear it's dazzling. Dazzling? Anyway, this print took a lot of effort to find. Let's match it up right away. So we're not done yet. This is quite a process. Well, there's no point in finding a fingerprint and not knowing who the owner is, right? I guess she's right. Look at the fingerprint data we got from Mr. Edgeworth, and point out the person you think left these prints. Huh? How am I supposed to know who it was? I can make a pretty good guess. The bloody handprint and the fingerprints are in different places, right? That means the prints probably don't have anything to do with our case. So, whose fingerprints would we most likely find on this evidence locker? It would be Detective Gumshoe, I believe. Match found, let's go. Aha! So, these prints belong to Detective Gumshoe. Something wrong, Mr. Wright? You gave me the so what look. I guess that's probably because I was thinking, so what? Okay, so we came up with nothing this time, there's always next time. Sometimes you hit, sometimes you miss. You gotta roll with the punches, Mr. Wright. Thanks for the sympathy. Wait, if I remember correctly, there was one other handprint in this room, let's check it out. Yeah. I remember. Oh, I guess I probably have to examine this locker? This is where we got a luminal fluid reaction, right? Right, there was a handprint here. Okay, wanna try using this? Make our eye sparkling again? Yeah. Okay, let's check for prints. That's the spirit. Oh, but I have to warn you about something first. What? The area with the blood was wiped away, right? So we only ended up finding it using... Oh, we only ended up finding it using chemical means. Any prints in the area will have been wiped away too. Oh, right. So that means no prints. Would you say the probability of your hypothesis is high? Don't ask me. Anyway, we must try to find prints that weren't wiped away. Prints other than the ones left by the bloody handprint. Where would we find such a thing, huh? Maybe on this? I mean, I would think maybe on that, but... Also though, it's like, why would they let me check it out here if there's not any fingerprints, right? I guess unless, like, it is just to kind of throw you off the trail. Okay. Is there anything else I particularly should check? You know what, might as well check this real quick. Text says SL-911. I guess this is another piece of the evidence from that case. You know, I never did care for the word tag, it's confusing. Huh? What's so confusing about that? You know how many other words sound like it? Bag, gag, nag, lag, zag. Zag? Is that a word? Do you challenge me? What, are we playing a word game now? Okay. Alright, well, where else would there be? Maybe on the locker? Detective Goodman's evidence locker, it's empty. Only Detective Goodman himself can open this locker. So the person who took out the knife had to have been Detective Goodman. But why was it wrapped in the scarf muffler and stuck inside the car muffler? Okay, mix a jar, some of these are missing, yeah. I'm wearing a red necktie, you know? Okay. Good. Nope. Beyond the door, a whole new world awaits us. Right, the evidence room where the murder took place. And our ticket to this new world is right here. Visit ID we brought from the chief of police, I'm guessing. Right, let's leave the saloon behind in the dust. Definitely the impressionable type. Does this mean that maybe we could find some evidence of fingerprints here? Maybe? So we found a note, yeah. I don't think I'm on the right track anymore. Okay, let's back up, move. Did we get everything that we could spray with this stuff here? Like, okay. This blood must be from when Lana... No, my sister isn't the murderer. But she did call you, didn't she? At the time of the crime? And her right hand is bandaged. Hey, just whose side are you on? This has nothing to do with taking sides. So this means that Lana's hand had blood on it. This just keeps getting worse. But... couldn't I... court record? So you're not gonna let me... Should I do it now, though? No. Okay. Alright. I really thought that would probably be it then. Okay. So I'm guessing that that's not the thread. And we need to find more fingerprints somewhere. Nope, not what I meant to do. Doubt there's going to be anything in here. Okay. Move further into here. And we go court record. Download here. We spray. Nothing on this door? Is there anything else? This is just like playing Power Washing Simulator. You just go over everything and... Well... But why would it let me investigate this if this wasn't the right thing, right? So we already did that. That yellow crime scene tape, you know, yesterday was my first time seeing that. It was always my dream to push through the crowd and just step over the tape. It's a little daunting to encounter it again so soon. I think maybe you're overreacting a little. And I'll tell you what, I have no clue. Like, I've sprayed everything I can think of. Hey, look, they're hard to make out, but there's some dark red stains here. Looks like blood. Do you think Detective Goodman's blood somehow got on this when it was stabbed? Not likely. This blood looks like it's been here for months, maybe longer. This jar was evidence in the SL9 incident. It might be when the blood got on it. I was just thinking that maybe for a second it would be like, oh yeah, you should check this out, and then it would... Huh? This thing doesn't have a bottom? That's weird. I wonder which side is up. Better yet, what's the purpose of a bottomless jar? At least it doesn't collect dust inside, right? Oh! No, it's not gonna count. Huh. It says SL9-2. Okay. I thought maybe that would have been that. See, she's wearing gloves. I feel dumb. There's gotta be something that I'm just clearly missing then, right? See, it keeps telling me that, so I was like... Actually, let's not check. What? Why not? Try my patient longer and I'll dump this powder over your head. Maybe I better check for this prince after all. Okay, so it is on here, but... Things on prints, we say probability. Don't ask me. Anyways, we're gonna try to find prints that weren't wiped away. But there's nothing. There's literally like nothing else here, though, right? What? Okay. All right. Cool. I don't know. There's nothing there. Okay. Well, at least we figured it out. So I was right that I was missing something. But a little annoying. It's fine, though. Okay. Oh, that looks like his, doesn't it? Oh? No. Marshall? What were you doing in here, partner? Hey, these fingerprints, they... Whose are they? Whose? Is it someone I know? It's Officer Marshall. Huh? Officer Jake Marshall? Okay. That's gotta be a coincidence. He's not even involved in the crime. Emma. This is decidedly different from Detective Gumshoe's prints. The luminol reaction, the blood and the fingerprints are in the same place. Oh. Oh. So we have Jake Marshall's fingerprints on a wiped blood stain. But why would Officer Marshall... Looks like our investigation is finally turning up some results. This is what you'd call decisive evidence. I don't believe it. Ooh, we did it. What a nice long day of investigating. Alright, that is a great place to call it there. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that fun jazz, and I will see you in the next one.